Do you even check static, bro? Do you know where to check static? Do you know why to check static? Static pressure is probably one of the biggest things on any piece of equipment that leads to all kinds of issues. First of all, if your static pressure ain't right, your airflow's not right. Second of all, if your static pressure is too high, then your system's noisy, you've got all kinds of issues going on. You're gonna reduce the oil return to your compressor. I wanna protect this baby. Don't hurt my baby. Do you even know how to check static pressure? Do you know why you check static pressure? Do you know how to check static pressure? Do you know where to check static pressure? What's the total external static pressure of this system? What piece of equipment cares? I can tell you what piece of equipment cares. That blower motor cares. This blower is rated for 0.5 because it can handle up to 0.8, but we don't like it. And what does that mean for your customer if your static's too high? If your static's too high on your system, it can cause oil return issues, kill your compressor. It's gonna cause noise issues, kill your income, because if your customer's not happy, you're going out there a lot. I don't want you to go out there a lot. Also, how much air is moving through it? Are you getting your customer the capacity that you sold your customer? If you don't have the right static pressure, then no. Put a 5-ton system on 3 tons worth of ductwork, how much are you delivering? Do you know? How can you tell? When you're looking at these systems, there's total external static pressure. How much pressure is on this blower motor? This coil's adding pressure to this blower motor. This filter is adding pressure to this blower motor. This ductwork is adding pressure to this blower motor. That ductwork is adding pressure to this blower motor. It all adds up because this is internal. This is external. This is external. So what's the total external? Everything that's not this is external. So make sure you're checking right. There's all kinds of tools out there. For example, if you use measureQuick, you don't even have to spend a cubit on measureQuick to be able to get a good, true report on total external static pressure. Makes it nice and easy. If you don't know already what to do, or you have trouble communicating it to the customer, measureQuick can help. Check it out. Just one Bluetooth manometer. And with measureQuick and one of their quick tests, you can absolutely see the entire system static pressure. Pretty cool. Let me show you how it works. At this point, you're gonna open up measureQuick and make sure that your tools are selected. You need to tell the system to run the fan at the highest fan speed. So once this system tells my fan to start running, I can start my tests. I'm gonna turn on my probe. Boop. I'm gonna make sure it's zeroed. Once you zero out your tool on the tool, you'll notice in the toolbox it goes to 0. So there are 4 places to take static pressure. We have before the filter, after the filter, before the coil, and after the coil. Now we're going to back out of our tools, select Quick Test. We're going to do the static pressure screening, and when we set it up, we're going to tell it that we have a split furnace with a slot filter and 0.5 rated static pressure. We see our budget here, we hit continue, and we're ready to go. I've installed a test port over here on the side. With this spot, I'm reading everything before my filter, my entire return duct system. Now we're going to activate the probe that we have in return, hit the activate button, and we've got to give it enough time, set it in there. We're going to start getting our readings,
You have to get enough time for it to settle down. May take a few seconds. See, we've gone from 0.03 to 04, 05, 06. And keep letting it go. Looks like we've settled there, and we're going to press the capture button.
And then I check after my filter, which is right here, before the blower. It's nice and easy on this. If you have a spot where all of your wires are going in, or in this case, it's on this side. With this, you gotta be careful that you're not hitting any of the electronics in here. The last thing you wanna do is zap yourself or fry a board just because you're trying to do the right thing. Now I'm checking after the filter. So now I'm seeing how much stress on my blower motor am I getting from my return ductwork and from my filter. The difference between these two is what's called my filter drop. So with my filter drop, I get to see how restrictive this filter is. If you want to prove to a homeowner that MERV 13 filter is not a good idea, you can check the filter drop.
All right, now as we see here, as we switch our probe from one spot to the other, now we're reading that 0.32 after the filter and before the blower. So that 0.32 minus 0.6, that might be a little bit more than we wanted.
Next, I want to see the rest of the system. So I want my total supply side static. I'm trying to see the total stress on that motor. How much am I sucking and how much am I pushing? Next spot I want to get is between my furnace and my coil. You may have to install a test port somewhere on the side, but I'm trying to push air through this coil and ductwork. How much is that getting restricted? And that's what this reading is getting. So now I catch that reading.
And after we captured the last one, now we pull our probe out, and then we find our spot in the next spot. We set it in there. And we give it a few seconds to settle down. And once we're pretty confident it's there, we hit that capture button.
Next, I want to see how much the ductwork alone is getting. So I'm going to move this to my test port that I've installed up here. You and I know I drilled a hole. Your customer knows you installed a test port. So now, up here, I'm testing how much stress just the ductwork is on. The ductwork and this coil are both external to this. So my numbers between here and here are my total external static pressure, because it's reading everything that's not my furnace. My pressures between here and here, that's just my coil drop. How much is the coil itself stressing out the system? That can tell me things like, is my coil dirty? It can also tell me things like, is it the right coil?
And now here we are. We see that we got 0.1. We re-zero our manometer, and boom, shakalaka, we are zeroed. And then we go ahead and install it in the next spot just to make sure everything is going. And then for whatever reason on the supply side, it always takes a little longer. So we got to give it plenty of time to settle out here. And once we're happy that it's settled, we know it is what it is. Oh my goodness, we're getting up. We are 0.12. We're good. We hit that capture button once we're lucky with it. And then from here, we can start to move on.
So now we take all of those readings, we put them together, and if we're using the measureQuick app, then we get a report. It shows me my total external. It also tells me where my stress points are. Is my coil reading too high? Is my filter too restrictive? Maybe the easy adjustment is just, hey, let's change the fan speed. I don't need to be trying to push 1200 CFM when my system's only 1.5 tons.
And this is the part where it really shines. So we've made all of our readings here. It tells me all of this. It even explains what my readings are doing. Now this whole test barely took 10 minutes. I hit continue here, and now I can get the official results. And oops, I failed. Why did I fail? Because my total external is 0.72 on a 0.5 system. what failed. My filter pressure drop is high. My coil pressure drop is high. It also gives me some ideas of why that could be and what I could do to fix it. Very handy. But this is just the results for me. This is still part of the free bit on measureQuick. So I want to go ahead and I want to hit continue after I look through and see, oh goodness, what have I done? But I would like something I can give to my customers. So I generate the report, and now I have this awesome PDF. I can share this PDF with my customer. I can just pass it along on my tablet. I can save it to their file. But what's really cool about this PDF is it explains things nice and easy. So if you're not good at explaining what this means, look here. It shows that my external static is out of range. Nice, easy to see. Red triangle. My coil pressure drop is out of range. Over here, we see my filter pressure drop is out of range. We know that I'm looking at the right kind of a system. My return duct is okay. My supply duct is okay. And then when we look over here, I have recommendations. Like, this is not me telling you you need to fix and clean the coil. This is a third party, and this is why. Now, I'm finished up, and thank y'all for coming. We can save and exit, and back to the next thing. All right, guys, good luck out there.